With skills only a select few possess, he was hailed as the next Michael Jordan of his decade. This 11-year-old stormed the internet with his breathtaking skills and a basketball sense that came from another dimension. Everyone around the globe was raving about his talent, and teams around the NBA were making early bookings for him. But things suddenly went grim after 10 years of fame, as he hasn't made it to the biggest basketball league on the planet. So what went wrong for this young prodigy? And how did the most talked about kid on the internet transform into Mr. Nobody? This is the tragic downfall of Julian Newman. When Julian Newman was just 3 years old, he was already picking up the game of basketball. Growing up in a family that loved the game, Julian's father, Jamie Newman, trained him intensely, and his dedication showed as he practiced shooting 100 free throws, 200 floaters, and 200 jump shots every single day. Starting young, right? In 2012, when his highlight videos went viral on YouTube, he gained attention as a 5th grader playing varsity basketball for Downey Christian School. It was a school that his father began coaching him at while teaching history. His amazing skills led to both admiration and criticism, creating different opinions about his potential. Some people praise him as a gifted youngster with great potential. Others, however, expressed their disapproval of his promotion at such a young age. When he was 11 years old and only 4'5", playing as a point guard, he led Downey Christian to a 21-6 record. In his first 3 games, he averaged 12.4 points, 11 assists, and 4.3 steals per game. Earning attention from the big news channel when he was in 5th grade, he started playing basketball for the middle school team. But because of his early success, he scored as many as 91 points in one game. He quickly began to rise to the varsity team. Yeah, that's 91 points in middle school. Newman kept impressing everyone with his stats, averaging 17 points per game in 6th grade. During this time, a recruiting website named Scouts Focus posted a video of Newman on YouTube, which went viral and received over 3.5 million views. He started getting attention in big newspapers like Sports Illustrated and the New York Times. He even got to be on TV shows like Steve Harvey, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Good Morning America, and some other shows. People got even more excited when he scored 52 points in a big game against top recruit Kyrie Walker. That game's video received over 13 million views on YouTube. The Huffington Post called him the best 6th grade basketball player you've ever seen. In 7th grade, Newman was the most talked about 12-year-old basketball player in the world. He ended the season with averages of 19.8 points, 10.2 assists, and 4.3 rebounds per game. In 2015, Newman became the youngest player to get 1,000 career varsity points and was definitely living up to the hype. His impressive progress continued when he was in 8th grade, where he averaged 23.9 points, 11.4 assists, and 3.6 rebounds, confirming his status as a basketball star in high school. However, some media criticized the efforts to promote Newman's career, likening it to that of a child celebrity. Despite this, his promotional efforts drew attention, with millions of views on his videos. By the time he was a sophomore in high school, Newman had broken the Florida prep scoring record, totaling 3,873 points. His father, who also coached the basketball team, started Prodigy Prep, a new school in Orlando, for his senior year. Newman graduated from high school in 2020 after 7 years of playing varsity basketball. He finished with a total of 6,246 points, ranking 4th on the list of all-time leading scorers in the nation's boys' basketball history. That point total includes Newman's years. From 2013 to 2020, Newman played varsity basketball and also holds the record for the most three-pointers made, 178, and the most assists, 2,211, in the nation's history. However, the tide began to turn for Julian Newman. Despite his achievements, the excitement around him started to fade, with major ranking platforms overlooking him for the class of 2020. Although he continued to put up impressive stats in high school, the buzz that surrounded him in earlier years dwindled, and Newman soon realized that making it to the NBA takes more than just viral YouTube highlights. Newman's aspirations of playing college basketball or making it to the NBA came to a halt as his high school career came to an end. But the reasons behind his lack of offers and his decision to skip college for overseas play were unclear. His father claimed Newman had 15 Division I offers, but Newman himself has a different story. Julian mentioned that he wanted to play overseas in countries like Germany, China, Italy, the G League, or Australia to prepare for the NBA draft. However, aside from his intention to skip college, factors such as height, ability to create shots, competition level, performance, and attitude emerged as key reasons contributing to his setbacks. Being 5'5" to 5'7", Tall Newman's height was seen as a potential obstacle, making him vulnerable to taller and more physical players, which could affect his performance in higher-level games. Several people have argued that his small stature is a limitation, but his lack of athleticism is also a factor. We've seen shorter players like Nate Robinson, who stands at 5'9", dunk and block shots effortlessly, but Newman doesn't have that kind of jumping ability. Newman's playing style, marked by taking contested deep threes and making questionable shot choices, received a lot of criticism. During games, he often takes poor shots, preferring contested deep three-pointers and contested mid-range shots. It's evident he plays for the cameras and rarely opts for good shots, putting his team in tough situations frequently. Although his style of play may garner appreciation on the streets, it won't lead to an NBA contract. Undoubtedly, he has talent, but even his supposed strength dribbling isn't exceptional. He exhibits flashy dribble moves, but if you observe closely, he struggles to create separation. Some might argue that he resembles more of a Harlem Globetrotter than a potential NBA player. Despite positioning himself 5 feet beyond the three-point line, he often fails to bypass his defender with basic maneuvers. Against tough opponents, his lack of speed, athleticism, and short strides become apparent. In college and the NBA, dribbling efficiency is critical. The fewer dribbles needed to outmaneuver opponents, the better. This principle is paramount in the NBA, where players like Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving excel due to their ability to beat defenders with minimal dribbling. Newman struggled to score even in high school using simple moves, let alone at the collegiate level. Due to his short stature, he may struggle to finish shots near the basket, often resulting in blocks. Additionally, his jump shot is quite unconventional. It's far from typical that he starts his shooting motion from his chest and has a questionable release. Furthermore, his father's encouragement to take such shots doesn't help matters. Newman's struggles against high-caliber opponents have raised concerns about his readiness for higher competition levels. He struggled in the game against IMG Academy, even when IMG wasn't playing at full intensity. Moreover, his team seemed to perform better when Newman was off the court than when he was on it. The same scenario unfolded against Spire. Julian Newman struggled against LaMelo Ball, who seemed to handle him effortlessly, not even considering him a threat, and Ball appeared to find the situation amusing throughout the game. Newman failed to meet expectations against top-tier opponents, highlighting doubts about his ability to excel even at the high school level, let alone in the NBA. Additionally, Newman's behavior on the court, such as instigating conflicts and causing disruptions, casts a negative light on his character, drawing criticism from coaches, players, and analysts. In high school, numerous incidents surfaced regarding his questionable behavior. Who could forget the chair-throwing incident during the IMG game? It resulted in a major altercation between Julian and the towering players from IMG. Videos captured the chaos with iPhones capturing every angle, including Julian hurling. One of the IMG players threw a chair at him. What about the fight he got into during practice? It's clear that Julian portrays himself as a dominant figure, but reality speaks otherwise. His demeanor alone would deter college scouts and potential opportunities. Presently, Julian Newman resides in Las Vegas, stepping away from the basketball limelight. Despite limited recent competitive engagements, he remains active on social media, hinting at the launch of a YouTube channel and a one-on-one show titled Beat Julian Newman. Mark Cuban's offer for a chance in the G League stands as a potential opportunity for Newman to reignite his basketball aspirations. Although the road to professional basketball remains uncertain, Newman remains resolute in his pursuit of his dream. Involvement in his family's clothing brand, Prodigy, and various sponsorship agreements offer alternative sources of income. Despite the significant downturn in the sports arena, Julian Newman's narrative primarily centers on his remarkable journey as a child prodigy. But he fell just short of his ultimate dream.